Dallas, Texas. The night was drenched in rain, and the highway lights streaked across the windshield like golden ribbons. Aiden and Zara, newlyweds, were driving toward an old Victorian-style mansion on the north side of Denton County. The mansion was called Ravenmore Estate. On the internet, people called it the most haunted honeymoon spot in Texas, though most reviews seemed fake. And that was exactly why the four couples had planned to spend their honeymoon there, for the thrill. Soft jazz played inside the car. Zara held Aiden's hand and looked out at the rainy night with a soft smile. They had been married just 2 weeks. "You're not scared, are you?" Aiden asked, as he slowed the car to take a turn. Zara smiled cheek to cheek. "A little, but the sexy kind of scary," she laughed. "Besides, we'll be with everyone else. It'll be fun." Aiden leaned in and placed a gentle, warm kiss on her forehead. Intimate, romantic, the kind of kiss that makes every moment after marriage feel brand new. Behind them, 3 other cars followed, carrying their close friends. Jason and Mila, the party couple, always teasing and flirting. Rahul and Emily, the sensible, logical pair, but thrill-seekers at heart. And Sam and Kayla, the most romantic, inseparable couple. All 8 of them drove 2 hours north from Dallas toward Ravenmore. Inside each car, there was excitement, playful teasing, and hints of honeymoon intimacy. Hands interlocked, whispered flirting, laughter and soft touches, the unmistakable energy of couples. When they reached the massive iron gate of the estate, the fog was so thick that even the headlights could barely penetrate it. The gate stood open, as if someone or something was already waiting. Zara whispered softly, "This doesn't feel strange to you?" Aiden slowed the engine. "It does, but that's exactly why we came." Their car rolled slowly onto the gravel road. The other 3 cars followed behind, headlights tracing long streaks through the fog. The night, the mist, and the distant massive black mansion together created a perfect frame for cinematic horror. Ravenmore Estate loomed ahead like a statue frozen in silence. Broken windows, a towering spiral turret, and ancient trees with skeletal branches. Someone, or something, had lit lanterns on the porch pillars. Who? Nobody knew. The mansion's front doors creaked slightly, as if inviting them in. Zara gripped Aiden's sleeve tightly, her fingers white from the pressure. Aiden held her close behind him, body tense, heartbeat loud enough that he could feel it in his chest. In the doorway of the library stood the bride, her torn dress dragging across the wooden floor. Her eyes were pitch black and hollow, without any pupils. It wasn't a human gaze. It was an endless void. Her lips slowly curled into a smile, but not a human smile. This was a smile that decided the fate of couples. The curtains above the bookcase fluttered, though there was no breeze. The warmth inside the library slowly turned cold, as if her presence was sucking the oxygen from the room. The bride extended her hand toward Aiden. "You belong to me." Aiden's chest tightened. Zara immediately grabbed his hand. "He's mine," Zara whispered, trembling. The bride suddenly jerked forward, her face almost touching Aiden's in an instant, as if she had teleported. Aiden's eyes widened in fear, and he instinctively pushed Zara behind him, gripping her shoulder tightly. The bride whispered close to Aiden's ear, "You forgot me, and chose another bride. Now you are mine again." Aiden tried to scream, but his throat felt blocked. Zara shook him. "Aiden, look at me." He forced his gaze away from the bride and locked eyes with Zara. The bride watched their fleeting intimacy for 2 seconds, and her face twisted in rage. Her pitch-black eyes began bleeding red. The wooden floor cracked as if under invisible pressure. Aiden's right arm froze as if gripped by cold metal. He roared, "Let her go!" The bride whispered, "First my groom, then your bride." The room plunged into darkness. Lights flashed, and the bride vanished. But so did Zara. Aiden felt an instant suffocating emptiness. She was no longer in his arms. "Zara!" A distant scream echoed through the mansion, coming from its very core. Aiden broke the library door and ran. The hallways twisted unnaturally, as if the mansion itself was alive. The stairs changed shape, and black, sticky liquid dripped from the ceiling. On the ground floor, Jason, Mila, Rahul, and Emily huddled together, breathing heavily. Sam supported Kayla on his shoulder. She was barely conscious. Jason saw Aiden and asked urgently, "Zara, where is she?" Aiden, voice strained with tears, said, "The bride took her." Emily whispered, "The bride only takes the groom. Then why Zara?" Sam spoke slowly, "Because she wants to punish him." Jason slapped the wall in frustration. "This place is going to kill us all." Aiden took a deep breath. "We have to find Zara now." Rahul heard a faint tune, a melody like an old music box. They followed it to a hidden basement door. Fog spilled from under the door, and long scratch marks lined its surface, as if someone had tried to escape from inside. The basement handle froze in Aiden's hand. He forced the door open. Pitch black inside. A slow, haunting female hum echoed. When the light faintly reached inside, they saw Zara, tied to a chair in the center of the basement, bound not by rope, but by shadowy tendrils. Her head hung low, eyes closed. Aiden ran to her, but the floor beneath her moved like black tar, stretching the tendrils. The bride emerged slowly from a corner, her ripped gown dragging behind her. Her face briefly appeared beautiful and human, breathtaking, before instantly decaying. She looked at Aiden. "You abandoned me for another bride." Aiden roared, "I never chose you. I don't even know you." Her face twisted in fury. "You left me for another." Jason whispered, "She really believes he's her husband." The bride made a sharp gesture. Zara's chair lifted into the air, the shadows stretching her limbs. Aiden roared, "No!" Zara's body shook violently, her wrists tightening in the tendrils. "Aiden, I can't breathe!" Jason, Rahul, Emily, and Sam all rushed to help, but the bride slammed them against the wall with a single high-pitched scream. Mila screamed as she tried to help Sam, but they were all helpless. The bride leaned close to Aiden. "If you are mine, prove it." A rusted iron hook suddenly fell from a corner, an ominous choice: sacrifice his bride or die. Zara whispered weakly, "Aiden, please don't let her win." Aiden's eyes filled with tears. "Never, I will never let you go." The black chamber walls began to shift. The bride's next attack was imminent.
Zara's cheeks still burned from the brand-like sensation as Aiden ran through Ravenmoor's narrow basement hallways. Behind them, the crooked, half-melted bride crawled along the walls, scratching toward them, her nails scraping like steel on stone. Sam and Kayla met at the end of a chicken wire corridor. Sam's shirt was ripped, black veins had begun creeping across his arms, as though something inside him had taken hold. Kayla's expression was half crying, half shock. She was holding Sam, but his body convulsed in strained spasms. "She went inside. She's inside me." Sam's voice was faint, broken, almost like a whisper carried on the wind. Zara looked at Sam. He stood completely still, totally still. Then his eyes slowly turned pitch black, like two voids staring out from inside him. It wasn't Sam anymore. It was something else entirely. Jason, Mila, Rahul, and Emily, the third car's group, finally caught up to them. They were exhausted, covered in scratches, and shaking with panic. Emily asked in shock, "What happened to Sam?" Kayla let go of his hand. Sam stood upright. "I'm not Sam," he said in a calm, eerie voice. The hallway lights flickered. A loud, bone-shattering crack echoed from Sam's body, as if his entire spine had been twisted inside out, and then he grinned. In Ravenmoor, couples who get intimate become mine. Zara grabbed Aiden's hand. Jason tried to push Sam, but he moved fluidly, almost like liquid. Mila held back tears. What does she want from us? Sam's voice was calm, chilling. Incomplete couples, those who treat love as a sin, those whose desire is guilt. Their souls built this house, and now, whenever a couple arrives, their romance, their intimacy, their touch, and their fear, it sustains me. Zara heard a faint moaning behind her, from a wall, from an old torture room, from what had once been a honeymoon suite. The bed was broken, sheets stained, handprints dried and dark. Rahul panicked. "We need to get out, now!" They all ran toward the hallway bend, but from the corner, the ghost bride appeared, her lace gown tattered, lower half missing, trailing smoke like fire. Her veil dissolved into the air. "You all woke Ravenmoor," she whispered, freezing them in place. Jason stepped forward. "We didn't do anything. We just—" The bride touched Jason's cheek with her bony fingers. His eyes widened in shock. Instantly, a black scorch mark appeared. Mila screamed and ran to him. Zara stared into the bride's eyes. They were hollow pits, capable of freezing life itself. "What do you want? Why us?" The bride spoke softly. "I was a bride. My groom promised to celebrate his honeymoon with 4 friends. He never came. Their affairs, their betrayal, their intimacy, it killed me." Suddenly the hallway filled with smoke. The lights went out. Only blackness remained. 1 second. 2. 3. Lights snapped back on. On the floor lay an old Polaroid camera, the kind used in old weddings. A note read, "Couples who kiss under fear become mine forever." Aiden picked up the Polaroid. Inside, a fresh picture had already developed. It was a group photo of all of them, but in the photo, behind them, stood the bride. Her fingers rested on Zara's neck. Zara tried to tear the photo. Instantly, it reformed as if glued by an invisible hand. Rahul tried to open the front door. Locked. Jason checked the windows. Invisible force pressed against them. Kayla looked for a back exit. Only endless darkness stared back. Aiden spotted a hidden staircase in the basement. "This way. Maybe the exit is down there." They ran down the narrow passage. Mila's flashlight revealed broken statues, naked mannequins, and half-burned photos of couples in intimate poses. Some were about to kiss, but their faces were blackened, melted, as if under some supernatural pressure. Finally, the hidden basement door appeared. Aiden pushed it open. Below was a narrow stone tunnel. The air was warm and damp. From below came faint moaning and crying, mixed together. Zara's hands trembled. "Aiden, I don't think this is safe." Aiden kissed her forehead softly, a desperate intimacy amidst terror. "I'm here. We'll get out of this." They descended. At the end of the tunnel was a massive wooden chamber, what had once been a honeymoon suite. A huge round bed sat in the middle, with 8 straps, arranged for 4 couples. Bloodstains faded, but unmistakable. Kayla shivered. "This looks like some kind of ritual." Zara spotted a dusty leather diary on the side, Ravenmoor's bridal scripture. She opened it. Inside, couples who grow intimate, whose bond is strong, their fear is the sweetest. Jason flipped another page. The couple who sacrifices themselves first will survive. All others will become mine.
The mansion had spoken. One sacrifice. One couple's end. Aidan tried to snatch the diary. No, we won't sacrifice anyone. But as he closed the diary, the chamber door slammed shut. Above, voices, screams, moaning, laughter, crying. The ghost bride hummed softly. Sam, now possessed by the bride, stood in the corner with a grin. One couple must choose, or Ravenmoor will take you all. The red glow illuminated their terrified faces. The mansion was alive, and now Ravenmoor was about to claim one of them.
The red glow in the chamber grew stronger, pressing down on them with every heartbeat. Aidan held Zara close, tight enough that he could feel her rapid heartbeat against his chest. Jason, Rahul, Emily, Mila, and Kayla stood frozen, as if waiting for a final judgment. Sam, or whatever he had become, stood in the corner with a crooked grin. His body looked like a cracked porcelain doll, his black eyes fixed on them. One couple, only one. The rest will feed Ravenmoor. Zara's hands shook as she held Aidan's. "I don't think anyone should be sacrificed," she said in a trembling voice. Aidan touched her forehead softly. "I won't let anything happen to you. We'll get out of this." Jason stepped forward. "Guys, stop. Think. Sam's rules. They're a trick. If we choose, we're completing their ritual." Mila's breath was shaky. "We have to find another way. We won't sacrifice anyone." But the chamber pulsed with blood-red lights, growing more intense. From under the bed came voices, couples crying, kissing, moaning, pleading, a horrifying mix that froze their minds. Emily covered her ears. "Please stop. Oh God, please." Rahul grabbed her hand. "We stick together. No one will be sacrificed." Aidan looked around at the echoing walls. "The mansion wants us to fight each other, to blame one another. It breaks couples because it feeds on strong bonds." Jason nodded. "Exactly. It's manipulating us." Sam slowly clapped. "What a drama. What passion. But you can't break the rules. You're already inside the ritual." Then from behind him, the bride ghost appeared, her body smoke-like, her lace gown flowing like flames, eyes empty holes, her grin stretched unnaturally. She pointed at Zara. "Fear, yours is the sweetest." Aidan instantly stood in front of Zara. "Step back, she's not yours." The bride advanced, leaving burned footprints on the floor. "You came here to enjoy your honeymoon? Intimacy, closeness, warm breaths, shared touches. All of it strengthens me. The stronger your bond, the tastier your soul." Zara looked around. The shadows on the walls twisted like couples holding each other, but their bodies were half melted. The bride's hand reached for Zara. Jason grabbed an iron rod from the hallway and swung it through the bride. The rod passed through her, but she caught Jason's arm, instantly turning it into blackened charcoal. Mila screamed and pulled Jason back. "No, no, no! Breathe, Jason, please!" Jason's right arm cracked like burning wood. Pain filled his eyes, but the bride only smiled, enjoying their terror. "One couple must be sacrificed," she sang. Aidan pushed Zara behind him. "Everyone, the side passage, quick!" They ran toward a secret passage in the wall. The bride followed like a tornado of smoke, crawling from the ceiling like a spider. Kayla looked down. Dried blood stained the floor beneath her feet. "We've reached a deeper basement," she panicked. The lights flickered. The bride's voice echoed. "One couple, one choice, that's the rule." Aidan spotted a metal grate in the corner. "This way, the exit might be through here."
Jason pushed the grate open with his good arm. Inside was a circular room with a huge mirror in the center. The mirror was unnaturally clean. When they stepped inside, no reflection appeared. Instead, the bride ghost stood in the mirror, under a wedding arch. Beneath the arch, bodies hung. 1, 2, 3. On the mirror, a message appeared. Couples who stay together die together. Zara stepped back. Aiden, we're trapped. The bride reached toward Aiden. Zara screamed, falling on him. No, please, no! The bride froze. Zara's hands pressed against Aiden's chest. Their bond, love, intimacy, real connection confused the bride. She stepped back. Your love weakens me. Jason whispered in shock. Holy shit, their bond is hurting her. Rahul shouted, Aiden, Zara, hold each other now! Aiden grabbed both of Zara's hands, foreheads touching. Their moment glowed with warmth amidst fear. The bride screamed, white-hot, mirror cracking, walls shaking, black liquid oozing from the ceiling. Emily covered her face in horror. The bride stood directly in front of Aiden. Your bond is the strongest, so you both will become the heart of Ravenmore. She extended her bony hand toward him. Zara screamed, pressing herself against Aiden. No, please, no! The bride paused. Their love, their kiss, their connection, real intimacy burned through her powers. The bride screamed in rage, dissolving into a white-hot explosion of light, fire, and dust. Silence followed. When the dust settled, they were outside, in the front yard. The mansion was reduced to ashes. Only a burnt arch remained. Sam lay unconscious but alive. The ghost was gone. Zara touched Aiden's cheek. Are we alive? Aiden hugged her tightly. We survived. Jason, Mila, Rahul, Emily, and Kayla all shaken, crying but alive. As they left, Zara noticed something in the ashes, a burnt Polaroid camera. A new picture had already formed inside. It showed Aiden and Zara holding each other, but behind them, the bride's transparent silhouette was still standing, smiling. Below it was written, Some honeymoons never end. The chamber in Ravenmore pulsed with a red glow, growing stronger with every breath. Aiden held Zara tightly, their hearts beating together like one. Behind them, Jason, Rahul, Emily, Mila, and Kayla froze in place, paralyzed by the mansion's oppressive energy. Sam, or whatever he had become, stood in the corner, his crooked grin more terrifying than ever. His cracked, porcelain-like body shimmered in the red light, eyes completely black. One couple, he whispered. Only one may survive. The rest will feed Ravenmore. Zara's hands shook as she clutched Aiden. I don't want anyone to die, she said, voice trembling. Aiden pressed his hand against her forehead. I won't let anything happen to you. We'll get out of this, together. Jason stepped forward. Think, guys, Sam's rules are a trick. If we choose, we're just completing the ritual. Mila's breath trembled. We have to find another way. No one dies. But the chamber's red lights intensified. From under the bed, ghostly voices, crying, moaning, pleading, echoed, blending into a horrifying symphony. Emily covered her ears. Stop! Please, God, stop! Rahul grabbed her hand. We stick together. No one will be sacrificed. Aiden looked around at the echoing walls. The mansion wants us to fight, to blame each other. It breaks strong couples because it feeds on their bonds. Jason nodded grimly. Exactly. It manipulates us. Sam clapped slowly. What drama? What passion! But you can't break the rules. You're already in the ritual. From behind, the bride appeared, smoke-like, her lace gown flowing like flames, empty eye sockets, a terrifying grin. She pointed at Zara. Fear, yours is the sweetest. Aiden stepped in front of her. Step back, she is not yours. The bride moved forward, leaving burnt footprints behind her. You came to enjoy your honeymoon? Your intimacy, closeness, warm breaths, shared touches, all of it strengthens me. The stronger your bond, the tastier your soul. Zara looked at the walls. The shadows twisted like couples holding each other, but half melted, distorted. The bride's hand reached for Zara. Jason swung a rusty iron rod at her. It passed through her, but she grabbed Jason's arm, instantly turning it into blackened charcoal. Mila screamed and pulled Jason back. "No, Jason! Breathe!" The bride sang softly. One couple must be sacrificed. Aiden pushed Zara behind him. "Everyone, side passage, quick!" They ran through a secret passage. The bride followed, a tornado of smoke, crawling on the ceiling like a spider. Kayla looked down. Dried blood stained the floor. "We've reached the deeper basement." Lights flickered. The bride's voice echoed. "One couple, one choice. That's the rule." Aiden spotted a metal grate. "This way. Maybe it's the exit." Jason opened it. Inside was a circular room with a huge mirror in the center. The mirror was unnaturally clean. They entered. No reflections appeared. Instead, the bride stood in the mirror under a wedding arch. Beneath it, bodies hung. 1, 2, 3. The mirror displayed a message. Couples who stay together die together. Zara stepped back. "Aiden, we're trapped." The bride reached for Aiden. Zara screamed, pressing herself against him. "No! Please, no!" The bride froze. Zara's hands pressed against Aiden's chest. Their love, their connection, real intimacy confused the bride. She stepped back. "Your love weakens me." Jason whispered, "Holy shit, their bond is hurting her." Raoul shouted, "Aiden, Zara, hold each other, now!" Aiden grabbed both her hands, foreheads touching. Warmth and love glowed brightly amidst the fear. The bride screamed, white-hot, mirror cracking, walls shaking, black liquid oozing from the ceiling. The bride stood directly in front of Aiden. "Your bond is the strongest, so you both will become the heart of Ravenmore." She extended her bony hand toward him. Zara screamed, holding Aiden close. "No! Please, no!" The bride exploded into white-hot light, fire and dust. Silence. When the dust settled, they were outside in the front yard. The mansion was reduced to ashes. Only a burnt arch remained. Sam lay unconscious but alive. The ghost was gone. Zara touched Aiden's cheek. Are we alive?" Aiden hugged her tightly. "We survived." Jason, Mila, Raoul, Emily, and Kayla, all shaken, crying, but alive. As they left, Zara noticed something in the ashes, a burnt Polaroid camera. Inside, a new picture had already formed. It showed Aiden and Zara holding each other, but behind them, the bride's transparent silhouette still stood smiling. Below it was written, "Some honeymoons never end."
If you want me to create an alternate ending, a sequel, or a voiceover-ready script with sound effects cues for this story, just type continue and I'll make it ready for you.